features two-time Grammy-winning Terrence Simeon and the Zydeco Experience and Sanctum Sully to the stage beginning at 5 p.m. There'll be local beer on tap and local food vendors will be serving up tasty treats. Join the party Friday, May 20th in downtown Asheville on North Lexington Avenue. Downtown After 5 is free and open to the public. For more info, visit ashevilledowntown.org.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570 for my friends over at Casablanca Cigar Bar. And I got to tell you, this is my new spot for business and for pleasure. Sam, Brooke, and Jackie will make sure all of your cigar and cocktail needs are taken care of. They have a wide selection of the finest cigars in every price point, and their selection of spirits and craft cocktails will have your taste buds watering. So whether it's a smoke and a cocktail at their Biltmore Village location or just a smoke at their new retail location in Hendersonville that has a gorgeous back patio, Casablanca Cigar Bars has all the relaxation you need.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5.
You got that bag, you got that Biggie Bag, you got that bag.
That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
It's good to have choices. We're your alternative. Alt 101.1. With music like this. And this. We're Asheville's alternative rock. Alt 101.1.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
In the second round of the PGA Championship at Southern Hills, Justin Thomas holds the lead right now at 6 under after shooting another 67. He's one shot ahead of Rory McIlroy, who just started his round, along with Tiger Woods, who's 4 over for the tournament. Live coverage on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN+. Game 2 of the NBA's Western Conference Finals tonight. The Warriors took Game 1. But ESPN's Kendrick Perkins believes after a day off, the Mavericks will be more energized tonight.
You have to realize what goes into Game 7, the mentality, having that anxiety, and then finishing the mission, all of a sudden you relax a little bit. You will see a completely different Luka Doncic and Dallas Mavericks team tonight.
Kendrick Perkins on KJ and Max. Our coverage of Mavericks and Warriors starts at 8:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. And we've got a Stanley Cup playoff doubleheader on ESPN TV starting at 8 Eastern with Game 2 for the Rangers and Hurricanes, followed by Game 2, Oilers and Flames. Carolina and Calgary each hold 1-0 leads.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Jimmy Butler is the third or fourth best player in the playoffs. I still, at the end of the day, I think I'm taking Jason Tatum, Luka, and Steph over Jimmy Butler.
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. That's fun. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Welcome into the program, everybody. We are live in the Ingles Studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. You can hear us everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can see us everywhere on the YouTubes.
on the YouTube.
That's right. Just go,
80?
Just go to the Sportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and that way you can get in on the chat with us.
And today on the YouTubes, I have a thing. I have my first Mexican pizza. Let's go!
With extra beef.
With extra beef.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either. I can't believe they asked me that question. I can't believe they could, and I only know this because I saw the picture of the drive-thru. I can't believe you would see me in that camera and go, oh, why do I not just add it? Let's just throw the extra beef on there.
We'll just go ahead. Well, you never know. You never know when you may run across a cheapskate like me who goes, 50 cents? I don't know. There's a piece of bubble gum waiting on me somewhere.
Yeah. I'm good. But we will be sampling the reintroduction of the Mexican pizza today.
This will be the second time he's sampled the reintroduction.
You weren't supposed to tell that, okay? I got two so that I could enjoy one with the people.
That's fine. Just a little snacky snack.
And, well, this was not a snack. Taco Bell's one of those places you go to and just go, man, how'd I spend $24 there? That's why I feel so. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
That's why I need a nap.
Yeah. It is a Friday afternoon. Welcome into the show. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene. And first thing I want to say is, hey, how about them Boston Celtics?
Hey, if you're a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
Oh, Mr. Marcus Smart's not going to make that much of a difference. Oh, really? Really? Last night.
That take aged like milk.
Yeah, second game of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Boston Celtics demolished the Miami Heat.
Yep, guess what? Didn't change my opinion on that series, not nary a little bit.
And I'd said it before, and I'll say it again. I feel like that's an error in judgment on your part, but it is what it is.
This is what the Celtics do. You've outplayed Miami for 7 of 8 quarters, and you're tied.
Yep.
Because you had that one. You had that one where you didn't look like you belonged in the NBA. But that's not why we're here today.
That's not why we're here today.
We're here today so I can chap the hindquarters of the fan bases of some NFL teams.
That's right, because we are doing our 2022 off-season power rankings, looking at all the things that have happened in this off-season, the draft, free agency, the schedule release, everything taken into account, and where do the teams stand right now in the NFL. So we're going to have Jeremy's got, of course, all the great little graphics that he's going to be throwing up on the YouTube stream.
I make it easy to be lazy from time to time.
We have round 2 of the PGA Championship going on right now in Tulsa, Oklahoma, up on the television. And Justin Thomas, after shooting a 67 today, is 6 under par for the tournament. He's got the lead. Rory McIlroy just teed off not too long ago, as did Will Zalatoris. Zalatoris is already down a stroke for the day, or I guess up a stroke, or what?
He's lost a stroke today.
He's lost a stroke. See, that sounds bad, but it's a good thing in golf. That's the thing that I don't.
Well, he lost a stroke. The way you said that is that now you've got me confused.
He was 4 under coming into today. He's already 5 under.
He's 1 under on the day.
Yeah, he's 1
under.
That's
how you say that,
okay,
like a person that sounds like they know what this sport is.
I mean, I know what the sport is. Never claimed to be an expert on the golfing, but Justin Thomas leads at 6 under par. Rory McIlroy and Will Zalatoris both 5 under par so far on the tournament. We'll be keeping you up to date on how things are going there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll have Jeremy's picks of the day as well, but let's get into the 2022 off-season first shot power rankings here.
And Rob Johnson with our first banger take of the day. The Bears are at 32.
Dude, no doubt.
You're not wrong.
I mean, can we not all come to an agreement that the Bears are the worst team in the NFL?
They are bad.
And
and literally that has nothing to do with Justin Fields. Like, if I took him out of the equation, they're still the worst team in the league.
Well, true. They're even worse than they are now.
My 2023 never too early mock draft got a lot of flack from Bears fans of, we're not the worst team in the league. All right, let's play a fun game. Name me the best player on that team.
Best player on the team, Robert Quinn.
All right. And 2, Who's 2?
David Montgomery.
There you go. You see how it gets real gnarly and gross.
Yeah.
It's because that team's terrible.
Roquan Smith. He would be in that group as well.
Roquan Smith would have been my 1, just so we're...
Okay, all right.
Yeah, by the time you get to 4, it gets very Darnell Mooney, Jalen Johnson. Maybe one of the rookies will be real good.
Right.
That team's terrible.
Yeah, they're awful. They're going to be awful for a long time. Feel for you, Bears fans. I really do.
I don't. You have a young quarterback.
Oh, you should.
You have a young quarterback. I like your GM. You're just going to have to – you're going to have to suck it up for the ills of the last, I'll say, 3 years with Matt Nagy.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be bad before you can be good.
I saw a Bears fan today which brought up the ESPN FPI rankings in the studio. We had a nice little chuckle over some of those.
Yeah, we have an ESPN logo in this studio, and I will say that is dumb.
But the FPI rankings had the Bears at number 32, and some Bears fan was on Twitter railing like, oh, we got an easy schedule this year. Well, yeah, you did. In fact, most of the bad teams in the NFL have the easier schedules this year.
Mine
just doesn't matter.
No, I mean, the team's just not good. You don't have any weapons. The offense is going to be lackluster. The line is bad. Moving on.
Yeah,
you're just bad. Either you get it or you don't get it. If you know, you know. FAFO. Let's go. 31.
At number 31, the Seattle Seahawks. Or Jeremy's 31. They're not my 31.
I don't see how they're not. I mean, you have the worst quarterback situation in the league.
Sure.
You're rolling out Geno Smith and Drew Lock. And I actually think they added pieces to that defense. The defense will be competent, but you can't be that bad at quarterback in this league. I mean, honestly, how many teams in the NFL do not have a solution? I'm not saying it's the solution. They don't have a guy
solution
to be excited about. There's one answer to that, and it's the Seattle Seahawks.
Right. Geno Smith, Drew Lock. You do have 2 superstar wide receivers, or I guess not superstar, but star wide receivers.
And that would be like me having 2 Maseratis in my driveway because I can't drive a stick.
They're going to try to focus on running the ball, which they do have some good backs, and the line will be okay, as it was with Russell Wilson. The problem is you can't trust a team that doesn't have, like you said, a solution at the quarterback position. So the Seattle Seahawks are your 31st worst team in the NFL.
Well, they're my second worst team. They're my 31st best team.
You're
doing that golf thing
I
again.
am doing
it's
that
getting
golf
very
thing.
confusing.
I'm confused. I'm so confused. It's been a long week. 30th, the Atlanta Falcons.
And I'll be honest with you, if we were doing a futures ranking here, I'm not overly worried about Atlanta. You're going to be terrible in the year of the quarterback. And that's not a bad place to be in. You have 2 good weapons.
Yep.
I still think Arthur Smith is reasonably bright. I don't buy Desmond Ridder at all, but that's fine. At least you have somebody to be somewhat excited about. A year from now, that's not going to preclude you from doing anything. But this year is not going to be good.
You don't have too much to look forward to on the defensive side of the ball either.
Well, I mean, you haven't for.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've had John Abraham since the days of Jesse Tuggle. So, okay, that's not really new for Atlanta.
Right.
Look, my team's same way.
You have much more talent than the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, well, right now. I meant over the course of the last 30 years.
Right.
We also have had John Abraham since the days of Mo Lewis and Marvin Jones. I get it. It's not a fun place to be.
No, the Atlanta Falcons are awful.
The good thing is whoever the quarterback is that they take next year, and yes, they will take one. Do not throw the Desmond Ridder thing at me. Whoever it is, you walk into a situation where you have 2 good receivers, and if you could somehow find a way to patch things up with Calvin Ridley, you might have the best receiver group in the league.
Possibly so.
I'm trying to look at the positive here. I'm trying to say something nice about everybody.
At number 29, it's the Houston Texans.
Hey, Texans fans, this should be a lot better than you thought I was going to put you. I actually like Davis Mills.
I know you do.
He has a long neck like a giraffe, but Other than that, I saw things in the rookie year to like.
Right.
The problem is you just don't have anything around you.
Mm-hmm.
The weapons are not good. I love
you got Brandon
Smith.
Cooks and a bunch of dudes.
Yeah,
you got a whole roster full of RB3s.
They do have a predilection to running backs.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans like running backs as much as I like the Taco Bell Mexican pizza. Just give me all of them, and I will figure it out.
They like it as much as I like drinking out of my brand new coffee mug, thanks to Armchair Commentary.
Indeed. Look at us just being shills for people that send us things.
Why not? And Armchair, just by the way, just recently, within the last hour, posted his latest YouTube stream. So check him out, Armchair Commentary on the YouTube. We're trying to get that going for him as well.
One Nation Underground in the comments said Ritter's going to prove me wrong. He could. There have been, in the 10 years I've been doing this, there have been a handful of quarterbacks that I was super wrong on. Now, I will say this, and this is not a shot by any stretch. It's Friday. I'm in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen many that were this blissfully inaccurate. So that would be my reservation.
And in order for him to prove you wrong, he has to be the second coming of the actual Superman. I'm not talking about Cam Newton. I'm talking about full-on Clark Kent. He's got to be that.
No, he has to be a good NFL
with
quarterback.
this team?
No, well, I mean, I'm talking about the long play.
No,
I think for somebody to say that they're going to prove me wrong, I'm not going to say that in a year. Look, I liked Mac Jones. I said he would have a good rookie year. I didn't like him long term.
Right.
I don't think he's proven me wrong. You can't assess a quarterback for 5 years. And is there a possibility that Desmond Ridder is a starting quarterback in this league? Absolutely. I think he would be a back six of the league starter. But even then, that would be better than I thought he was. So, and I would totally give credit there. There are a lot of people that like Desmond Ridder. I'm just not one of them.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Pitts, Cordero Patterson, Drake London. That's your trio of weapons that he has to play with. He and Marcus Mariota, whoever it's going to be.
And I think it'll be Ridder really quick.
It possibly could be. Brian Edwards comes in.
Yeah, I don't care about Brian Edwards. Brian Edwards he has a jersey and a helmet.
You look at the rest
nicest
of that
thing I can say about it.
You just look at the rest of that team, and it's like Brian Edwards, Auden Tate, and Olamide Zaccheaus. Yay, Falcons! That screams.
If you're gonna be bad, be bad.
That screams number 1, number 2 pick to me. They're my 31. At number 28 on the official Sportsocracy Power Rankings.
This is gonna be the first one that gets me some shade
from New York Giants fans. Are you really?
They think there's a lot of hope.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of hope.
Yeah, because you have the front office and you have the head coach. Unfortunately, you don't have any players. We have 9 receivers, and your quarterback is who? Your quarterback is the kid that looks like he should be playing Eli Manning in a biopic about Arch Manning. Just, okay, if you're that bad at quarterback, you're not making it off the bottom quadrant.
Right.
Which is also the problem for the next team on this list.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, does he continue to look busty? They've rebuilt the offensive line somewhat.
I like the line. I like the pieces. There are pieces on this team. The problem is, and look, and I'll explain this. This is how I do power rankings. The way I look at teams in the league is what is the accumulation of all parts? It's about 20% your coach, about 30% your quarterback. I'll say 25% just the franchise on the whole, and then 25% the rest of the talent. So, like, you add Kenny Galladay. Let's say Kenny Galladay is 100% healthy. Do you think that team is good?
No.
No. The defense, okay, you got a bunch of young guys that are really good. Well, they will be 3 years from now, 2 years from now. That's still not a good team.
At number 27, it's the hometown Carolina Panthers. Kevin Vick is really upset. He already
I don't know what you want me to say.
He already threw out his spicy hot take that Carolina Panthers are going to be the number 2 team in the division this year.
I will bet my ability to have fun for the rest of my life. I will bet my right foot with the shoe that's currently on it. You can have them both. You can straight saw my foot off if you're right.
He says, healthy CMC, much improved offensive line, Sam Darnold watching Golden Corral take his job in training camp, healthy J.C. Horn.
You better pray that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Healthy J.C. Horn, the Panthers will be better than people think, period. I'm going to go out and say it's going to be a no from me, dog.
Here's what I'll say. They will be better than some people think. I've seen them at 31.
Yeah, see, that's dumb to me.
Here's where you get into, could I have them ahead of Jacksonville? Could I have them ahead of Detroit? Mm-hmm. Wait till that next slide comes up and you see who the next 8 in this list are. You're not better than any of them.
Colin Greene says CMC is healthy until he falls on a grape in week 6 and busts his butt. Yeah,
look, I like Christian McCaffrey. I do.
But
like when your
him,
best player's a running back, that's not a great sign.
I like him when he's on the field. The problem is he's never on the field. Attendance is part of the grade. I heard somebody say that the other day, and I thought it was brilliant.
Well, and here's something that you got to understand. If you're a Carolina fan, you want to be bad. You want to be bad. There are 2 quarterbacks that I feel really good about. There's about 7 that I grade very closely to each other. And I'm going to say this as nicely as I can. I said it on draft night. I said we did the grades for the draft, and I'll say it again. Matt Corral is not your solution. He's not. Every team in the league that needed a quarterback had at least 2 shots at him.
Mm-hmm.
And they went, that's going to be a no from me.
Right.
In the worst quarterback class I've ever seen. What does that tell you? Can you put him in the right system and it work out? Sure. And here's what I'm going to say. I don't think David Tepper wants it to work out. I think this was satiate the fan base. Maybe we get lucky. And then it's just going to be unpleasant for a year. We'll find the coach that we need, and away we go.
Right. Is Matt Rule's system the thing that's going to make him good? And how good does he have to be to keep Matt Rule's system going another year? That's the big question. Matt Rule's not going to be around much longer. No. So you don't have the quarterback of the future yet. Number 26 is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The other.
Old Trevor Lawrence. Everybody's already thrown dirt on his career. Or not everybody, but a lot of people have already thrown dirt on his career because he's in Jacksonville. He does have a more talented team than he had to work with last year.
Without a doubt. He's got 2 good running backs. The line is improved. I still think you need a left tackle, but you've got weapons. There's talent on the defense. It's very young.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be a lot of shootouts. That team at the end of the year, you're going to look at, and trust me, we went through earlier in the week and did the win-loss projections, and Jacksonville was a team that fluctuated a lot for me. There were times they were 4-13. There were times they were 7-10. Just kind of depends on how the season goes. I do like Doug Peterson more than most. And I think just having a stabilizing force there will be – it will help.
Mm-hmm.
It will help coming off what you had with Urban Meyer. That was I know I went in a circle there. I was trying to think of Urban Meyer's name. I could see his face and I could see that video, but I couldn't think of his name.
A healthy Travis Etienne, obviously going to be able to give a boost to that to that game as well, because he's, remember, not only dangerous with his legs, he can also catch the ball really well. So he'll be another weapon that Trevor Lawrence can use. And then you got a number 25, the Detroit Lions.
I like Detroit better than most. The talent is exponentially higher. It all ties back to Jared Goff. And at the end of the day, I mean, Jared Goff made a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did he do it with a very good coach, a very good franchise, and a ton of talent? Yeah, he did. But if you look around in Detroit, there's a lot of talent on that offense. That offensive line is really good. I mean, I'm talking top 8 in the league good. And then you factor in DJ Chark and TJ Hawkinson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's going to be a good offense. The problem is that I don't think they could stop anybody if you allowed them to play with 14 players.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I like Aaron Glenn. I think you're going to be more competitive than people think, and you'll win games that you're not supposed to. In the comments, One Nation asked, which of these 8 teams is a sleeper to make the playoffs? I'm going to say none of them. But if I had to pick one, I'd say Detroit.
Really?
I would say Detroit.
Okay.
If Detroit's defense was even competent in a bad NFC, there's a path where they're the 8th or 9th best team in that conference.
Mm-hmm. If I had to,
if you're in the AFC, you're doomed.
Yeah.
If you're a bad to mediocre team in the AFC, you do not have a snowball's chance in Atlanta.
Agreed.
So this had to be an NFC team. I mean, Carolina, there would be a path to that if Sam Darnold is what he was sold to be.
They're mine. Carolina is. We have the same 8 teams in our bottom 8, but the Carolina Panthers are my 25 because I do see the potential for them to be decent. They're not going to be good.
To me, it all comes back to the formula that I said. The 2 most important positions on your team are your head coach and your quarterback. That is the biggest deficiency on that team, and it's not even debatable. Mm-hmm. That makes me nervous. But if I had to say one, I would say it's either Detroit or Carolina. They could be the Cincinnati Bengals of last year because they both have talent. It's just the sum of all parts doesn't move me.
All right, that's your first quadrant of the 2022 power rankings here right after, or late in the off-season stage. We'll get to the next group up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change up to the weather patterns here into the weekend, and next week we'll see a lot more thunderstorms cruising through the Carolina forecasts, and it all gets underway this weekend. Mid-60s tonight, scattered thunderstorms Saturday, 83, and rich flow up from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into the Carolinas for Sunday and for much of next week with a daily dose of thunderstorms likely, high temps in the 70s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Do you have joint pain in your knees or hips or shoulder or back? Pro football legend Emmitt Smith knows how disruptive it is.
How can you focus? How can you be at your optimal best when your body's under attack by pain?
That's why Emmitt's such a proponent of QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is here with regenerative options using natural biologics, non-surgical alternatives that offer lasting relief for pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders.
This natural biological treatment gives them the chance to get back in the game and to have a normal life.
QC Kinetics treatments laser focus on areas of intense pain, allowing your body to heal itself with no drugs, so you can focus on normal life.
Walking up the stairs without pain, getting on your bicycle without pain, running again, playing with the kids.
Your consultation is absolutely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 826-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Schedule Zero-Res carpet and air duct cleaning today and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule with ease at ZeroResAsheville.com. Zero-Res, it's the right way to clean.
Deep in the remote jungles of Colombia, a new species has been spotted. Humans. These humans are using animal mating techniques in their search for true love and are forbidden to speak to one another.
Not talking sucks. You either have your mate here or you don't.
Someone's got to go home.
This is it, the jungle or die.
Dating's never been this wild. Love in the Jungle on Discovery Plus. Start your free trial. Terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, before the next 8 of the Power Rankings, 2022 off-season Power Rankings here in the Sportsocracy. It's time to get just a bit outside, and hey, let's do a football story here because something weird really happened on draft night. When the New England Patriots came up to make their pick, they called their draftee. They called Cole Strange. And in an interview with MassLive.com, Greg Strange, Cole Strange's dad, says the scene was pretty interesting because
they didn't expect him to be selected for another 50 picks.
Exactly, and neither did anyone else. Thank you for ruining the punchline of the joke of the story. Anyway, so guy calls Cole Strange and says, "I'm so and so with the New England Patriots. Would you like to become a Patriot?" And Greg says, Cole goes, "Sir, I don't mean to be disrespectful at all, but I gotta know because I got some crazy friends. Is this a prank?" And the guy said, "Hold on just 1 minute." And that's when he handed the phone to Bill Belichick to let Bill Belichick welcome Cole Strange to the New England Patriots family.
Welcome to the New England family. I do things my way.
No, Cole, this is not a prank.
No, we actually just take people 2 rounds before we're supposed to.
This is how I troll the league. Cole Strange didn't even believe that he was a first-round prospect, and here comes Bill Belichick, the greatest coach in NFL history, welcoming you to his team with the, what was it, the 28th pick?
29, 28, somewhere there.
Something like that. Unbelievable.
Oddly enough, my story, also a New England Patriots story.
Oh, nice.
Thursday night, a 2000 Fleer Showcase Masterpiece Tom Brady rookie card was graded as an 8.5, and it's 1 of 1. Sold Thursday night for $396,000.
Wow.
It's a weird card because Tom Brady is bald.
He's bald?
Bald. He's bald, Jerry. There's only one problem.
Yeah.
After the card sold, and obviously it makes its rounds on Twitter, somebody went, "It's not 1 of 1 because I have the other one."
Oh.
Apparently, one of the undoings of the card industry was that companies like Fleer, they would mint a card 1 of 1, and then they would make a backup.
Right.
Just in case something ever happened to it. And one of them got out. And now there are a lot of people that are a little bit perturbed, including the person that dropped almost $400,000 because it was the only one.
As you would.
I will never understand how somebody looks at their monies and goes, "I have this many monies, and I'm going to spend $400,000 of it on a card this big." I spent $4 on this here Mexican pizza, and it made me way happier than that card will ever make you. I promise.
Well, I mean, if you thought you had the only one, there's something to be said.
There are a lot of things that I would like to have the only one of. A Tom Brady rookie card is not in the top 1,000.
No, but if it was like a Joe Namath rookie card.
Not in the top 1,000. There is no name that ends with
card,
trading card that I go, yeah, let's do that.
Not even a Honus Wagner?
No.
Knowing that you can turn around and sell it?
Don't care. Well, I mean, if you're talking about selling it, I'm talking about something that I would buy and be excited to keep.
Right.
A bottle of Glen McKenna. All the way in. You give me a really rare bottle of scotch, I am all the way in. Because I like scotch.
All right, let's get into the next group of 8 here in the 2022 Power Rankings. After the offseason, we're at number 24. And next up
is my Jets, Jets.
All right, the Jets at number 24. You got Zach Wilson. You got Garrett Wilson in the draft. You just had possibly one of the best drafts I've ever seen.
It was fantastic. And guess how much that means? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
For this 1 year, it does not mean a ton.
Yeah, just wait
because you're in the AFC, which is disgusting.
Just wait for the 2023 Power Rankings when the Jets climb all the way to 23.
I don't need your derision there, Mr. My quarterback
Well,
is 704 years old.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. I mean, next year when we do the 2023 power rankings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be 27. So
yeah, they'll be right behind my Jets. So get your chuckles in while you can there.
Oh, I 100% plan to.
I would argue there's no team in the NFL that's more improved than the Jets, but you're not going to see it in the record for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Here's not. The schedule's brutal. You know, Brady Quinn caught a lot of flack for saying that the season would be over by the bye. I can't tell you he's wrong.
He's not.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's over. I think you'll know they're not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They will beat a couple teams that they're not supposed to. They're really good in the front four. I like the offense. They're not a team you're going to want to play. That doesn't mean they're going to be good. You know who they remind me of, to be really honest with you? The Minnesota Vikings of last year.
Okay.
I don't want to play you, and I really do not want to go to your place. But I'm still probably going to beat you.
Right.
It will be much less fun to play in the Meadowlands, but I think the losses will still rack up.
I mean, from the team that you saw at the end of the season last year on the field for the New York Jets, I mean, they probably add, I'm going to say 8 starters onto that team. Because of returning from injury, you get Carl Lawson back. You get Mekhi
They were the
Becton
most hurt team
back.
in the NFL.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot to be happy about. You just got to temper the expectations of what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Laken Tomlinson, the biggest of the transactions in the offseason, other than the draft, obviously. Jordan Whitehead comes in. I think your team is very talented. It's just not going to show, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to finish 4th in that division. They'll finish 3rd or 4th in that division. And you're probably going to beat New England once. You're probably going to beat Miami once. And a year from now, you'll get the easiest schedule in the division. You'll be a year more mature, and now you'll be a legitimate actual contender.
At number 23, the Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz was the big pickup in the offseason. And what else?
There is no team on this list that scares me to make me look as dumb as I did last year with the Bengals than the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
If you get MVP Carson Wentz, of which now he's becoming like a Sasquatch, it's been so long since I've seen it that I don't actually remember what it looks like.
Right.
If that were to happen, the defense were to come back to the 2019 form, the 2020 form, and not be what it was last year, they could be the best team in that division. That's a whole lot of ifs.
Yeah.
And I just can't get there.
I can't either. You know how much I love Antonio Gibson, but him and Terry McLaurin are about the only things that I truly love about this team, and the defensive line. They do have the best defensive line in the NFL.
Trusting this Washington Commanders team is a lot like trusting gas station sushi. It could work out great for you. It could be delicious. It could be nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be cheap. Or it could ruin 36 hours of your life.
They do have the 31st. They're 31st in the strength of schedule.
Oh, that's because they play the NFC East.
And I understand that. I'm just saying there will be an opportunity to win some games for the Washington Commanders this year. At number 22, the Arizona Cardinals.
This is a team that you're going to have to explain it to me.
2 years removed from being the best team in the NFC, according to Flostradamus Jeremy Greene, and now they are at number 22, looking at all of the just grossness that they've been dealing with Kyler Murray, and DeAndre Hopkins is going to be suspended for the first 6 weeks of the season. You got Marquise Brown coming in after that trade. You gave away the first-round pick for him. I mean, I don't like this team much better than you do.
A Penguin can drive a Prius for a minute. Eventually, the fact that he doesn't have any thumbs is going to get to him, and that's how I feel about the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is a good coach.
Right.
I do not think Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. And I think the NFL figured him out last year. All I have to do is get pressure in his face. He's so short. And now you've got the DeAndre Hopkins thing, but they got Hollywood Brown. Yep, that's the most Arizona Cardinals thing I've ever seen in my life. You paid top dollar for a player that nobody else in the league would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
They did have a pretty good draft, though. It
was decent.
They've got some good young pieces on this team. There's a chance for them to be a little better than this, but not much.
Look at the schedule.
Oh, I fully understand.
They're closer to Seattle than they are to San Francisco or the Rams.
Strength of schedule ranking, they're 2.
Yeah, that's not good. That hurts a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the New England Patriots at number 21.
And this is, I'll be really honest with you, a lot of lip service to Bill. This is a lot of, you know what? And I'll be honest with you, it's funny that the team that I had at 21 and the team at 20 were back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
Because if those rosters were any other franchise, they'd be in the back 6 of the league. Period.
Mm-hmm.
What does New England do well?
Run the football.
Yay. You do the least important thing in the NFL well. You going to tell me how well they punt it? Because we're in about the same facsimile here. You're in the AFC. And if you want to know how much that matters, if the New England Patriots were in the NFC East, they'd be the favorite to win it.
Mm-hmm.
In the AFC East, you might be the worst team in that division. I don't buy Mac Jones. I think he's going to be unveiled this year. I still don't buy the weapons that much. I think the defense is fine, but now you don't have that corner. You didn't really address that. There's just eventually the fact that Bill thinks he's outsmarting the league is going to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're there. And you look at the schedule is chaos. Their schedule makes the Jet schedule look light. And I'm going to sit back with glee.
And just watch it all come tumbling down. I mean, this is just a team that does not have a lot of great talent.
If any other human coached that team, I would swear to you they were going to go 3-14.
100%. They'd be down there
Bill
with the
will
Houston
find a way
Texans.
to get them 7-10 or 8-9.
Mm-hmm.
How he's going to do it, I have no idea. I've gone through that schedule 100 times trying to find 8 wins.
Because he's the devil. And that's what he does.
You're not wrong.
At number 20.
That's a second devil reference on this show in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
The first one came from Jimbo Fisher, so I guess we can't take
full credit.
Although then I called him. You know what? The third.
Yeah.
3.
There you go. Number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And no, somebody said it in the comments, Tank has Pittsburgh at number 30. No, I don't. They're actually 21 on my power rankings.
There were about 5 teams that we did this completely independent of each other, and I would just call them out and go, why do you have them at either this spot or this spot? Because there's nowhere else that makes any sense.
Right.
This all ties back to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at, to me, really, whether it's Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. For me, it should be Trubisky in the beginning.
I agree.
I think you're going to run the ball well. I think you play really good defense. But then you get into a shootout with the Baltimore Ravens. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You're just going to lose that. The Cincinnati Bengals, you're going to lose that too. The Cleveland Browns, well, depending on what happens with Sean Watson, who just got some bad news, you're going to lose that too.
You got college quarterbacks. See, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
See, people look at...
You have system quarterbacks.
People go, oh, well, Mitch Trubisky, he was really good. When? When he was at Carolina for that 1 year? Kenny Pickett, okay, he was really good when he was at Pittsburgh.
For a year.
For a year. You got college quarterbacks, and in a league that is pretty much hinges on where your quarterback is or who your quarterback is, you don't have a whole lot. I mean, you got a lot of talent around them.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing in this league. And I'll say the same thing about Pittsburgh that I just said about New England. If Pittsburgh was in the NFC, I'd be talking about they're probably the 4th best team in that conference.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. And unfortunately, the vast majority of your schedule is in the AFC. But then I come back to it's Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
How many the next losing season that Mike Tomlin has will be his first.
Yes.
So you're going to find some way to go 9-8. I just don't know how you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think it is that Najee Harris is going to run for 11 jillion yards.
And God forbid anything happens to him, you're toast. Your season is in the tank, and that will be guaranteed losing season, and you're done. You got a 12th hardest schedule in the NFL.
I will say this. It's really funny for me to look at the comments and see people that – so if you're listening on terrestrial radio, on the YouTube stream, we have the 16 teams that are in the bottom 16. They're up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
there are people that keep chiming in with their teams. It's really funny for me because I know where the teams slot in, and I want to comment, and I can't.
And I can't. At number 19, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
This is the one I think I'm going to catch the most flack for.
I think you're right. But honestly, can you put them any higher? They have underachieved over and over and over again since the 1990s. We keep buying into the Dallas Cowboys are going to be great, and now they have less talent than they had last year. And the defense, I look at it and I go, yeah, you still have some good pieces, but overall that group is pretty much the same.
You're paying a quarterback prime money, and he ain't a prime quarterback. And now he's only got 3 weapons.
Mm-hmm.
He's used to having 4. And the defense has a pass rusher and a half. DeMarcus Lawrence can't stay healthy, so you're used to 2.5. And everything's just a little bit of a regression.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas does this every single year. And this is what I said when you signed Dak Prescott. Yes, you had to do it, but when you did, the talent is going to regress every year. And it's going to be death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And now I look at the division and go, are you better than the Giants? Absolutely. Are you better than Washington? Maybe. Are you better than Philly? I don't think so, and I don't think it's all that close.
I would agree, after the addition of A.J. Brown especially.
I'm waiting to see people's heads explode when they see
better?
where I have Philadelphia.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna.
Yeah, they break one of my rules of I don't love your quarterback, and I'm not sure that I care.
And he really doesn't care. Yeah, they will definitely make your head explode because my head almost exploded when I saw it.
It's a nice number.
Dallas Cowboys. I do have them a little higher in my power rankings than you do here, but only by a spot.
Well, I got to the next 2 teams. At 18 is the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And I have said I think Mike Zimmer not being there is going to be an addition by his subtraction. He is very good at Tinder, apparently. Not the greatest coach I've ever seen. And so now you bring in Kevin O'Connell, and you have a lot of young guys that are really motivated. I love the way they hired that staff. And I know we haven't talked about that, but there's just a little bit of experience with a lot of young guys that have lofty aspirations. And I look at the talent, I look at the division. I like Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, to me, this year is what I said about the Raiders last year. Of you disrespect their quarterback because he's not a superstar, and then you throw dirt on him like he's Sam Darnold. No, he's not. There's a mid-tier in the league that's still pretty good.
Right.
And that's where I see Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be able to run the ball. I like your weapons. I think you can get one more year of good production out of Adam Thielen before you need another guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having the conversion on defense, the ability to rush the passer. If Danielle Hunter can't play dead in the Western standing up, you still have Zadarius Smith. You still have a lot of young guys that I really believe in. I couldn't have Dallas ahead of that.
Yeah. Believe in the defense a little bit more. The offense much more. Is that fair to say?
In Minnesota?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I believe in it much more. I believe in the offense much more in Minnesota. Dallas is kind of like a Sasquatch to me. I get told how great they are and, they score a lot of points. You don't win. No matter how many wins I think Dallas is going to have, and this is probably year 5 of this, how many wins I think they're going to have, it's usually that -2.
Yes.
Well, this year I think you're going to win 9 games. If that trend continues, Mike McCarthy's going to be LMNO fired.
And then number 17, the last team in the bottom half of the league here, it's the Denver Broncos. The whole Russell Wilson thing, he's going to completely turn this around, and now we're a contender. It was fun while it lasted, but when you really break down this team,
it's Seattle.
You can't put them in the same category as the contenders.
No, they're Seattle. I said this when the trade was made. You basically just traded Russell Wilson to a more mountainous version of where he just came from. All the weapons are good. Okay. Mm-hmm. The weapons were good where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a first-year head coach in the toughest division I have ever seen in this league, ever.
Yep.
Yeah, you got the quarterback right. That's phenomenal.
And the defense is going to be really good.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Really?
It's funny to me. There are certain teams that get this mythology about them. And Denver has had this for as long as I can remember. Well, they just play really good defense. No, they really don't. In large part, they've been mediocre to bad outside of the Peyton Manning years in the last 8. So where is this myth that they're so good defensively? Yeah, they've got a little bit of talent. Seattle had a little bit of talent. Look at that defense, very similar to how I looked at Seattle's with a better pass rush. I'm not going to say that that's not the case.
To me, they're head and shoulders above what the Seattle defense was.
They have a better pass rush. Other than that, it's a lot of the same thing I saw in Seattle in a exponentially more difficult division. And that has to play in.
Okay.
Now, if they played in the NFC, they'd probably be the favorite to win the conference. So
they would be a contender in the NFC.
They'd be 3.
3?
I would have them behind your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the LA Rams. That's it.
That's it. Interesting. Unfortunately, they're buried in the AFC, and that probably is going to mean that they will end up in the bottom half of the league as they wind up 17th here in our first power rankings of the. Is this the one? This is the benchmark for the new season? The post off season?
I would say so. I mean, here's what we've learned on this show. We are football people.
Of course.
And the good thing is that we have metrics to judge that by. We talk about basketball, and you would swear somebody unplugged the power.
Oh, they disappear, yeah.
So it's like, we could do that. Or we can just talk about football. It's what we do.
The 2022 Power Rankings will have the top half of the league coming up in the 4 o'clock hour for you. When we come back from the break, Jeremy will have his pick tonight in the Western Conference Finals.
Here's a good thing. Can't possibly go any worse than last night, did it? So let's just saddle up and ride.
Are you gonna keep pounding that hockey stuff?
Oh yeah.
Has that gone?
Well, I've split.
Last night didn't go well.
I got one.
Did you?
I had the Blues. Wish I had the Blues in the money line. Maybe I learned something from that.
There you go. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
Here's to the great American settlers, the millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they pay the bills. Of course, there is something else you could do if you got something to say. Start a podcast with Spreaker from iHeart and unleash your creative freedom. Maybe even earn enough money to one day tell your old boss, "Hey, I'm no settler. I'm an explorer." Spreaker.com. Spreaker. Hustle on over today.
Hey folks, DG here, asking you to give yourself the gift of Asheville smiles here in 2022. Studies have linked untreated gum disease to heart disease, erectile dysfunction, systemic diseases, premature birth, joint issues, and much more. Everything is connected, and seeing a dentist every 6 months is important for your overall health. For top-notch dental care from Dr. Rebecca Merrill here in Asheville, call 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you.
DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through May 24th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly Auto Parts or order online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Progressive, we know there's nothing like the feeling of riding your motorcycle with your buddies on the open road. It's a potent cocktail of thrills, laughter, and pure adrenaline. A feeling that would be impossible to recreate on the radio. Until now. Hit it, sound effects guy.
I'm real proud of you, son.
Wow, that was terrible. Our apologies for even trying. Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Coffee's for closers, homie. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the watch.
Not gonna lie to you. Last night could have gone better. Thank you, Boston Celtics. 4 picks for you tonight. First, the New York Rangers are a 1.5-point dog tonight at the Carolina Hurricanes. Here's what I really like about making wagers on hockey. I think Carolina's going to win tonight. They're very good at home. But that's going to be a very defensive series, and 1.5 is enough of a buffer to me. Overtime, I'm golden. And that's how I think it goes. I'll go 3-2, but give me the Rangers plus 1.5. Next, the Calgary Flames are a -170 favorite against the Edmonton Oilers tonight. And while they're not going to have a large watch party, because it's snowing in Calgary in the end of May. I'm not making that up. They had to cancel the watch party because it's snowing. That team's really good. They're fun to watch. And the Oilers, because they have one of the best players in the league, they get bet up. I get this at a nice number. Give me the Flames, -170. And finally, the Golden State Warriors are a 6-point favorite tonight. Over-under is 213.5 against the Dallas Mavericks. Do I think this game's going to look like game 1? No, I don't. I do not see Golden State winning this by 25. However, it didn't adjust enough. One game should not adjust a line by more than 5 points. It should adjust it by more than half a point, which is where we are here. Warriors -6, over 213.5.
Likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no...
And you can take those wagers to betus.com, use the promo code Sportsocracy, and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. Yep, game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. And,
if I could get a prop on will Luka Doncic score more points in this game than he did in the first one?
Yeah.
I'll bet my other foot. The one I didn't with Kevin Vick,
right.
You can have that foot if I'm wrong there.
Hopefully Charles Barkley will be a little more tamped down. Did you see his,
I did.
his back and forth with the Golden State Warriors fans?
I love Charles Barkley.
He told the Warriors fans were getting on him. He told them to shut up or he was going to go to their houses and do things to their mother.
Yeah, I love Charles Barkley. Never change, Chuck. Never change.
I'm changing a lot. And that's thanks to the PhD weight loss program. I have lost over 66 pounds in 24 weeks with PhD weight loss. They are helping me find a new me. I'm wearing XL clothes for the first time in my adult life. Yeah, that's right. I was wearing XL clothes as a prepubescent teenager. So, look, they're helping me find a better path, and they're doing the same for you, Jeremy.
I actually played my first 2 rounds of golf of the year, and I discovered that the change is even more drastic than I thought it was. I used to struggle riding around in a cart. Now I can actually walk 18 holes, and it's all thanks to the program, nutrition, and weight loss that I have seen thanks to PhD weight loss.
You got a weight problem. You've been dealing with it your entire life. So have I. I remember when we went in there and they said, "Do you have a picture of yourself when you were at a healthy weight?" And I went, "Yeah, when I was 4." Other than that, I've been overweight. So if I can do it, I believe you can do it as well, and your health coaches will believe in you as well. They will give you all of the inspiration to keep going and to reach your weight loss goal. Just go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss is the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Second hour of the program coming up after the Sports Center update. We will do the second half of the power rankings, the top half of the league. Coming up next on 92.9.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change up to the weather patterns here into the weekend, and next week we'll see a lot more thunderstorms cruising through the Carolina forecasts, and it all gets underway this weekend. Mid-60s tonight, scattered thunderstorms Saturday, 83. And rich flow up from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into the Carolinas for Sunday and for much of next week with a daily dose of thunderstorms likely. High temps in the 70s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the Memorial Day sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to 15% on Casper mattresses. Plus, get free next day delivery. BOGO 50% off pillows and save 20% on sheets and protectors. Get 0% interest financing store-wide. Visit Mattress Warehouse.
River Ridge Marketplace in East Asheville has been a staple of Buncombe County for generations. And now they're inviting you to their Spring Fling, May 28th from 11 to 4. There'll be food from their great restaurants such as Happy Cinco de Mayo, J&S Cafeteria, and many more. They'll also have sidewalk sales from their amazing vendors, snow cones, inflatables, and a petting zoo for the kids. So join me May 28th from 11 to 4 at River Ridge Marketplace.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. Round 2 at Southern Hills in the PGA Championship. Justin Thomas holds the lead at 6 under after his second straight 67. Tiger Woods at 4 over par. The second round is live right now on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Plus. In San Francisco tonight, Game 2 of the NBA's Western Finals. ESPN's Tim Legler says, watch out for Luka Doncic in this one.
He needs to be more decisive at the point of attack and be more aggressive in setting the tone for his team, letting those role players know, hey, I am here tonight. I'm in a good place. It allows guys to settle in and be a little bit more comfortable.
Tim Legler on Get Up. Our coverage of Mavericks and Warriors starts at 8:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Indiana center Trace Jackson-Davis withdraws his name from the NBA draft. He'll stay in Bloomington for another season. Rick Bowness is stepping down as coach of the Dallas Stars. His contract expired when the team was knocked out in 7 games by the Calgary Flames in the first round of the playoffs.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Jimmy Butler is the 3rd or 4th best player in the playoffs. I still, at the end of the day, I think I'm taking Jason Tatum, Luka, and Steph over Jimmy Butler.
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It's seen everywhere on YouTube. go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get into the chat with us. We are rolling down the 2022 off-season power rankings here in the NFL as we continue to keep our eye on the PGA Championship. Justin Thomas still at the top. Will Zalatoris in second. Pride of Wake Forest, the Demon Deacon himself at 5 under, and Abraham Answer has now moved into second place as well at 5 under on the tournament.
That's okay. He's got a lot of 75 in him over the weekend.
Rory McIlroy is just under them at 4 under par, came into today as the leader. So we've already talked about the bottom of the league. And I saw pop up on the screen there for us, Flostradamus, the last
the
round.
Bottom 16?
Yeah, the bottom 16. Thank you very much. And we will start with the next quartile of the NFL. As you can see on the screen there, we got we left off with the Denver Broncos, Minnesota Vikings, and the Dallas Cowboys. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers rounding out the top 20.
This is the slide that I have been very much looking forward to seeing people's reactions to. There's a couple teams that have much lower numbers next to their name than you would think.
So at number 16,
the Fighting Brian Halls, the Miami Dolphins.
Wow, the Miami Dolphins at 16 on the power rankings here. The big question with them. See, this is where we wound up with this grouping of teams that are like, we like the teams themselves, but there's a huge question mark about your quarterback. And Tua Tagovailoa has to take the step this year. This is the make it or break it year of whether or not, at least for me, because I'm still a believer. There's still a chance that he could be a solid starting quarterback in this league.
This was one of the ones we talked about in the first hour of I said the Dolphins and I said the Broncos and said, where do you have them ranked and why is one 16 and the other 17? Because I do not see any way that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
They are the meat and taters of the NFL right at the crux.
I'm still a believer in Tua Tagovailoa, so I do have them slightly higher on my power rankings at number 15. But they're gonna fall in this mediocre area of something. You've added Tyreek Hill. Now you have him and Jalen Waddle. You got Mike Gesicki. You now have 3 running backs that you can use. I mean, obviously there's Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, and then there's a gap, and then there's Sony Michel. But you did go out and get running backs for Mike McDaniel to use in this system, and adding in Teron Armstead in the offseason was just incredible.
That's a great addition. There were a lot of great additions. Here's what bothers me about Miami.
Okay.
Last year, you beat New England,
mm-hmm.
Houston, the Jets, Carolina, the Giants, the Saints after all the injuries had taken over, New England again. Yeah, you beat Baltimore. Other than that, what did you really do that was supposed to impress me?
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, that Baltimore game was on a Thursday night, and it was the most dumbfounding thing we ever saw.
Right.
Because it looked like Baltimore forgot how to play football. I struggled to believe that a team – and look, I think you added a very quality left tackle that has injury issues. There's a reason that New Orleans did not pay him. And it wasn't just the salary cap. I think we figured out – in the NFL, the salary cap, it's a suggestion. If you really want it to happen, you'll make it happen. So there's a lot of yeah buts. And then you come to the crux of what you really added was Tyreek Hill. Am I really supposed to move you up 10 spots from where you were last year because you added a really good receiver? I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I got with Miami. I cannot, with a clear conscience, say they're better than the Tennessee Titans, who I have reservations about.
I can because I think the rest of their team's better.
I don't.
I think the rest of the one thing that concerns me about the Tennessee Titans is the weapons. Last year we saw Derrick Henry get hurt. If that were to happen again, then what is left? You have Ryan Tannehill, and you're stuck with Nick Westbrook-Akina.
And at 15, we have the Tennessee Titans. Here's the differentiator to me. Tennessee gets 4 games with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami Dolphins get the New England Patriots and the New York Jets.
Uh-huh.
I don't see a way Tennessee doesn't win those 4 games. I don't see a way that Miami does win all 4 of those games. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Ryan Tannehill. I think the Treylon Burks edition was fine. There's a drop-off between him and A.J. Brown. There just is.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I still think you will be able to play defense. People seem to forget Caleb Farley is alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to improve the back half of that defense. It's just going to. He was a good player. We talked about him coming into the draft last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good player. He just has to be healthy.
Right. If they stay healthy, the back end of that, the back end of that defense is going to be good with Christian Fulton and Elijah Molden. Those are fine players that can develop into something. The problem is I got to see them develop into something. And I think they'll be able to get after quarterbacks. Harold Landry had a great year last year. Bud Dupree, the addition of him made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have Jeffrey Simmons, who I have loved since he came out.
And I really like Tennessee. I'm sure somebody's going to see him at 15 and go, that seems low for the team that was one in the AFC. You just got to realize how good the AFC is at this point. It is a murderer's row.
It is. But there are big questions. See, when you get to this point, you got the middle of the league. You got teams that can be really good if everything goes perfectly. And
there's a slew of those teams.
They do have big question marks. We hadn't mentioned Robert Woods either. Like, you poo-pooed the whole Robert Woods thing, or at least how excited I was about it.
Yeah, because you made it sound like he's a good 2.
He's really good.
He's a good 2 coming off his second serious knee injury.
And Treylon Burks, can he be a 1?
Well, Treylon Burks needs to get through a practice before I get real up in arms about him. And I loved him. I still do. But
right.
It was not a good look to tap out 19 plays in your first practice.
He just got a little too dog-tired. That's all right. That's fine.
I mean, it is hot in Nashville.
Right. At number 14, the Cleveland Browns.
There's no team that has a greater variance than Cleveland.
I would agree.
And they got dealt a very bad set of news today because a few of the accusers of Deshaun Watson will be going on Real Talk with Bryant Gumbel on HBO. That's not good for you. That's not good for you.
You knew it was going to happen.
I didn't even really think about it, to be honest with you. We say this often. We're not cops. We're not lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea what happened. We weren't in the room. This is how that narrative of protesters and things like that, this is how the league can have to step in.
Yes.
And go, you know what? You want to sue us? Sue us. It ain't going to be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm looking at it going, I did not think he would be suspended again because I thought that the legal precedent would say, I've already served a year. Now I'm not sure that the NFL wouldn't fight it. I'm not sure that they wouldn't go, look, the narrative is so bad against us now that the bad PR is not going to matter. It's not going to be any worse than what's going to happen in the first place.
Think about this, think about the league's position of, if we don't do this, this is going to be more reason for this to be an 8-part series with all of them. 22 accusers just lined up going on all of these talk shows to tell everything. And that's another reason. That's another reason Deshaun Watson, even if you did nothing, you don't want these stories coming out. It's part of the reason why you settle. I get that he doesn't think he did anything wrong, and he doesn't feel like he needs to settle these cases. That's up to him. I'm just saying, if it were me and I had all that money, I might think I need to settle regardless.
The range of outcomes is now, I would say in the last week, has turned to it could be much worse than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting show. It'd be the first time I've probably ever watched that show.
I didn't know that show existed still.
Real Talk with Bryant Gumbel.
I don't go to HBO for sports.
No.
I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't know that I even have HBO.
You do, because you watch The Batman.
Yeah, but that was on HBO Max. That's on the app.
Real Talk's on it as well. There's a whole section. Sports.
They don't put that on the front. I don't care.
You gotta dig deeper to find out.
I don't watch documentaries. Like, they just go away.
That's not even kind of true. If it was about serial killers, you'd have watched it already.
Fact. I mean, good serial killer.
Try to lie to me. I know you better than that.
HWA is going out of town this weekend. If you've got serial killer documentaries that I need to watch, you chuck those in the comments because I'm going to need something to do.
Right. Deshaun Watson, that's a big question mark for the Cleveland Browns. Look, I got him at 12 on my power rankings, and that's with me having the question mark of how long is he going to be suspended. If it came out that he wasn't going to be, I think I'd easily have him in the top 10 because I just believe in the rest of that team so much. You know me, I'm head over heels for the defense, and that was before they had Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from last year. What?
Hit your button.
Which one?
The breaking news button.
Oh no, breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news?
It's a perfect time for Deshaun Watson news. Okay.
Who's gonna break the news?
Same team, wrong quarterback. There are two teams in the NFL that have not ruled out trading for Baker Mayfield. The Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers.
I'm not believing it.
Just came out from Sports Illustrated 14 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh. I saw a similar headline this morning that was on CBS, and I went, would you guys stop? You're still beating this drum. I've said since the beginning that the Seattle Seahawks makes the most sense.
I don't disagree with that, but I had to throw that out there for all the people that are, well, we have our quarterback now with Matt Corral. Okay. Why will this not go away? Why will you not just shut this up? Because you can do it like that. Uh-huh. You won't shut it down.
No, because if the Cleveland Browns finally break down and say, you know what, we're going to pick up $16.8 million on that contract. All you got to do is be responsible for $2 million. The Carolina Panthers could not say yes fast enough.
I have $10 to send Baker to the Fan Control Football League. You, Johnny Manziel, Michael Vick, I won't watch a second more of it, but I will happily throw $10 at it.
Yeah. And I think the same thing for the Seattle Seahawks. That's what has been preventing this from happening, is the Cleveland Browns don't want to eat that much of the contract. They were looking for an even split.
I'm going to tell you, it's not like Andrew Berry said this to me himself.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They don't care about the money. They want him out of the building.
Exactly.
They want somebody to take him.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody will step up and do it. But those two will not shut the door on it.
And I honestly
just felt like that would be one of those little pats on the head to that Matt Corral thing I said earlier.
Yeah. At number 13, it's the Las Vegas Raiders, which actually made my eyes kind of bug out. You mean to tell me I'm higher on the Raiders than you are?
I pushed down, and I shouldn't say pushed down because they went down a couple spots, the two non-Chiefs Chargers teams in the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. In that division, somebody is going to win 9 games.
Yep.
Somebody is probably going to win 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Denver's the 9-win team, the Raiders are the 10-win team. They would need a lot of breaks. I mean, I think the team's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
But the schedule's daunting. The division is insane. So that has to push you down a little bit. Look at the two teams right in front of them. New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 dog water teams in your division.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say it that way. You have one dog water team, the Atlanta Falcons. And then you have one that has huge quarterback questions. If they figure out the quarterback thing, they could be way better.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't count on that.
Nope.
And you look at New Orleans with Jameis Winston, and you fix the receivers, and I can't look at a team that has that schedule, look at the Raiders, and go, yeah, you're going to finish better than them.
Based on the strength of schedule ranking, they have the same schedule.
The Raiders and the Saints?
They have the same schedule.
Yep, that's why that metric is stupid.
They're both tied for 7th for the hardest schedules in the NFL.
Yeah, that's why that metric is dumb.
New Orleans got I've said this so many times, all the teams in the NFC South got a raw deal when it came to the schedule this year. All of them. I mean,
see, I don't think the Saints did. I think the Saints got the benefit. You're the same.
The same teams. They have to play all the same teams that the rest of them do. We're going to play all the teams from the AFC West. We're going to play all the teams from, or the AFC North, all the teams from the NFC West. Is that right? I think that's right.
That is correct. They open at the Falcons. Then they get you at home, in their home, at the Panthers, Vikings, Seahawks, and the Bengals. That's ugly. At the Cardinals and the Raiders. They're going to be 6-4 at worst coming out of that.
Could be.
At worst.
Could very well be.
That's the team that I'm throwing overs because that line's just not moving, and I don't understand it.
Right.
Over. All the over on the New Orleans Saints.
The problem so many people have is the quarterback. They don't believe in Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was decent last year. His stats looked, quarterback rate. Oh, he had 102.3 quarterback rating passer rating before he went out. Yeah, but he also had really bad games. He was up, he had really good games, like the first game against Green Bay when he threw for 5 touchdowns. He only threw for 27 yards, but he still threw 5 touchdown passes. But then he had some bad games in there. So he is a very up and down guy. You don't know if he's going to be able to have the 14-3 touchdown to interception ratio that he did last year. He could very well slip back into 30 for 30 guy.
And there's one thing I will tell you with Jameis Winston. This is the first time in his career he's ever had a defensive-minded head coach. Had Bruce Arians, had Sean Payton. You know what those two guys like to do? Throw the ball all over the yard. You know what Dennis Allen's not going to want to do? That. You are going to see a different Jameis Winston than you have ever seen before. Okay. Because the days of him throwing 45 times, it's not going to happen. I don't care who they had. Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, I don't care. The days of that are done. And I will tell you, as somebody that I spent several years cheering for Jameis Winston because he played at Florida State, I could tell you within 5 passes how things were going to go with Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Because when Jimbo Fisher would just take the reins off and go, you do what you want to do, that's how the Rose Bowl happened, where Oregon beat us 119-4. It's because Jameis Winston threw 1 billion times. So now you're going to have this high-level quarterback. You're going to lean on the running game more than you think, and the defense is going to be really, really good. I do not see a path the Saints don't make the playoffs. I don't see one.
I don't either.
Unless Taysom Hill – actually, you know what? You tell me how many snaps Taysom Hill takes at quarterback, I'll tell you where they slot in the NFC.
I do have some faith still in Jameis Winston.
I think he's
after
a good quarterback.
The 30-30 season that he had with my Bucks.
He's a good quarterback. He is one of those mid-tier of the NFL quarterbacks that is very reliant on what's around him and what he's allowed to do.
At number 11, it's the Indianapolis Colts. And I feel like this is low just because I factor in their schedule. Their schedule is so easy, comparatively speaking. I've got them in the top 10.
And I considered it. I considered having them in front of the team that we have at 10 that we'll get into after the break. I wish you had added something else. I look at the offense. Jonathan Taylor, yeah, we're good there. The offensive line, phenomenal. I just wish there was another weapon on this team because I'm afraid that when you get into these high-level playoff games and you come up against the Chargers or the Bengals or the Chiefs or the Bills, I don't know that you have the weapons to get into that kind of fight. And that's just where I pushed them down. They started at 9. And then there were 2 teams that I just looked at and went, you know what? I'm going to die on my shield on one of these, and one of them I'm going to play the game of I'm not going to push you too far down so I don't look too stupid if I'm wrong.
San Francisco 49ers, I guess one of those teams, at number 10.
San Francisco is the one that could make me look like an absolute fool. FBI has them at 23. Stop talking. That defense is entirely too good to allow that to happen. And I said this when they took Trey Lance. If you can get him right, he's the perfect quarterback for Kyle Shanahan because he has an element that he's never had.
Mobile.
And it's not just mobile. It's I can run design runs for this guy because not only is he fast, he's thick too. So this is not like Michael Vick, who yes, he was lightning fast, but it took one bad shot for bad things to happen because he's small. Trey Lance is not small. And I'm looking at this going, you know what? Kyle Shanahan's going to figure out how to do this. I can't throw dirt on San Francisco.
Yeah.
And there's still a possibility it's Jimmy Garoppolo.
That is very true.
That's the other part of this. If Garoppolo wasn't on this team, I would probably have the Colts and the Saints and the Raiders ahead of them. But I know I've got that backboard.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sold on the weapons for the San Francisco 49ers. And
I have George Kittle and Deebo Samuel.
Sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
And I get that.
And that system where I think I could play running back and it would be just fine.
But there again, the same thing you used is when you get into these shootout games, can you keep up? And that's one thing that I just don't know. I mean,
I think the defense for them is so good.
And I agree, because we've seen them do this. We've seen them get into those games with the LA Rams, who had the high-flying offense. We thought there's no way they could stop them. And what happened? They beat them, and the playoff game was phenomenal. It was like 27-24. The LA won on a last-second field goal. We've seen them be able to hang in with everybody.
And Rob Johnson hit it in the comments. Shanahan he worked wonders with RG3 as a rookie.
That's true.
That's the only time he's ever had a pseudo-mobile quarterback. And look, RG3 was different. He was a different kind of mobile.
Mm-hmm.
He's had statue Jimmy Garoppolo, statue Matt Ryan. I'm telling you, that offense with a mobile fixture at quarterback is just different.
And number 9, the big surprise, the Philadelphia Eagles in your top 10.
That team's really, really good.
But are they that good?
What was the knock on them last year?
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Still made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The knock on them was that they couldn't stop anybody throwing the ball. I think we fixed that.
With James Bradbury?
Mm-hmm.
This solves everything.
And there were times that teams ran on us. Oh, okay. Added Jordan Davis. Best run stuffer in the draft.
Yep.
And didn't have a big play weapon. Added the best receiver and one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Right.
I keep doing this. It's getting harder and harder for me to find reasons that Philadelphia is not going to be the best team in that division than reasons that they will be.
This is a playoff team that added 5 starters.
And has the easiest schedule in the league.
Mm-hmm. A.J. Brown, Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, James Bradbury, and Nakobe Dean. I think all those dudes are going to be starters.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a lot of talent. You got a lot of talent on that team. Big question is the quarterback, though. That's why I couldn't put him in the top 10.
And he's going to be asked to do so little. The beauty of that A.J. Brown addition, he is one of the best run-after-the-catch receivers in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? All you do, you tell Jalen Hurts, we're going to run the ball a lot. We're going to play good defense. And you're going to throw the ball between 25 and 28 times a game. All you have to do, get the ball in A.J.'s hands, let him do it. It mitigates all of my fears with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Is he ever going to be a high-level push the ball down the field quarterback? No, he doesn't have to be. That's not how this team's built. This team is built for him to run the ball in close situations, for Miles Sanders to be a threat, and now you've got a legitimate weapon on the outside that teams have to be scared of.
Hey, you hear that, Nick Sirianni?
Run the damn ball!
Thank you. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change up to the weather patterns here into the weekend, and next week we'll see a lot more thunderstorms cruising through the Carolina forecasts, and it all gets underway this weekend. Mid-60s tonight, scattered thunderstorms Saturday, 83, and rich flow up from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into the Carolinas for Sunday and for much of next week with a daily dose of thunderstorms likely. High temps in the 70s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between Brevard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, stop and go between Weston Road and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road northbound, stop and go between Glen Bridge Road and Arden and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound is stop and go between Ledbetter Road and Long Shoals Road. Again, Brevard Road northbound is slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture. Tyson Furniture has a fantastic selection of quality furniture, honest values, and great service. We deliver weekly to Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
Here's to the great American settlers, the millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they pay the bills. Of course, there is something else you could do if you got something to say. Start a podcast with Spreaker from iHeart and unleash your creative freedom. Maybe even earn enough money to one day tell your old boss, "Hey, I'm no settler. I'm an explorer." Spreaker.com. Spreaker. Hustle on over today.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Memorial Day sale ever. Get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $500 on Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchases up to a $499 value. Or shop Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America, and save up to $500 on adjustable mattress sets in stock for immediate delivery. And get a $300 instant gift. Talk to a sleep expert today, only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Jose, how much longer till this dough's ready?
No one can bake gluten-free vegan goodies better than Surrey.
Wait, both Jim and Marion's last days are the same day?
But he needs to whip up a new shift lead without interviews burning his time.
Gotta get interviewing before my calendar is cooked. Oh, can you start?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard, so you can stay organized and connected all the way to the hire. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, and of course heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Now, we like to have a mixture of stories here, and I thought, you know what, it's Friday, let's end on a good note here. I gave you a real scary story yesterday, so I'm going to go with something lighthearted today. A couple in Polk County, Tennessee, right over the border from North Carolina. They got an interesting surprise as they were awoken one morning. Jimmy Johnson is the guy's name, and he woke up in the bed with his wife. Things seemed pretty normal. He felt the dog in the bed. They have 3 hound dogs, so he didn't think anything of it until he rolled over and realized, honey, whose dog is this?
That's not our dog.
This is not our dog. Apparently, what had happened was the dog was on a walk with its owners when a freak thunderstorm spooked the dog, and the dog got away. They couldn't find the dog forever until they saw a post on Facebook from Mrs. Johnson, Julie Johnson. Julie posted, woke up this morning to a surprise visitor. We don't know how she got into our house, but here she is. Do you know who this dog is? They found her. They found the owner of the dog, and the owner of the dog replied to the message and said, "We're very upset with our wonderful Daisy. Apparently, she has taken leave of her senses, and she has not learned boundaries yet. She broke in. Apparently, there was a loose door on their house, and she wiggled her way in and saw 3 other dogs in the bed with this couple and went, hey, this is a good place to crash. And after 12,000 shares on Facebook, they were able to find it. And Julie Johnson says that I don't recommend waking up with a stranger in your bed, but if you do, I hope it's somebody like little Daisy. She ain't little either. She's like a
That's a big old dog.
Full-grown pit bull dog.
I don't know anybody that ever wakes up with strangers. Stephanie Kirchner. She has apparently really felt the effects of the gas price thing.
Mm-hmm.
She owns a farm in Europe.
Okay.
So she has decided that now she is no longer going to drive. She has a Toyota SUV, and she has just parked it. Well, the only problem is that she has to go to some form of job. She owns a farm. Apparently, she has a job as well. It does not say what the job is. So she takes the 3.5-mile trek with a horse-drawn carriage down a highway. I would be so angry if I got caught behind this that I cannot quantify how many expletives I would say in a given time. She says the usual 10 to 15-minute drive now takes her as much as an hour.
Wow.
But it's very relaxing, and she's saving upwards of $250 a month on gas. I don't care. I hate driving. I hate driving. I hate driving. If they would sublet me a condo in the back parking lot of Radio Ranch, I'd rent it.
Just so you didn't have to drive.
Just so I didn't have to drive, ever.
And it's literally like a 5-minute drive from his house.
If
it's a little longer than that, but
early in the morning, which is when I get here, there's nobody there.
Right.
So it's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I still dread it every single day.
See, again, another place where Jeremy and I are just opposite each other because I love driving.
If I ever hit the Powerball, the first thing I will do while I'm in Raleigh picking up the big check, I will stop at the DMV and go, you can have that driver's license. You can have that because I don't need that anymore.
Because I have a driver now.
Yep.
And you can let me drive and pay me a healthy salary.
Nope. You're one of those people that does the zipper merge thing. Out.
You get to where you're going faster if
you are a jerk driver.
A jerk driver.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, it's time for the top 8 of the 2022 offseason NFL Power Rankings here in the Sportsocracy. Just a quick update on the PGA Championship. Justin Thomas still at the top at 6 under par. Will Zalatoris in second by himself now at 5 under par. He's through 7 holes in this second round. And Rory McIlroy, Abraham Answer, both at 4 under in a nice little group there. Looks like it could be a fun stretch down the weekend here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But back into the top 8 of the power rankings here. Our last team, probably a surprise to a lot of folks, number 9 was the Philadelphia Eagles.
That team's going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
And I want to address
I
want to address something that LA State Road 23 said in our comments, that the schedule shouldn't affect power rankings. Here's the thing. We learned our lesson from the Bengals last year and the Ravens. We were dead in the wool on the Ravens. The problem is they played 5 really good defenses early, and by midseason, the team's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens and the dead team, what do we do with power rankings? We push them down.
Yep.
So why would we not take that into account in the beginning? It's a little different way to look at it, but we're trying to mitigate what happened last year. The Bengals are going to win 2 games. 6 months later, the Bengals are in the Super Bowl.
Didn't go our way.
And see, for me, it's not. I don't even necessarily look at the opponents. I look at, do you catch one of those weird stretches where you're on the road 3 weeks in a row? How many good quarterbacks do you play? And I start factoring.
How many
good
short
defenses.
weeks do you have?
Short weeks definitely play in.
And the Philadelphia Eagles got 5 of them.
Yeah, the only problem is that on the backside of that is, hey, and we get to play the New York Giants.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's going to hurt you that much.
All right, so number 8 on the official 2022 offseason power rankings is the Green Bay Packers.
I'm glad you said that because
I'm guessing.
I hit the wrong
that's
button.
my 8.
Yeah, they're my 8 as well.
All right.
I hit the wrong button, so I was like,
The Green Bay Packers. You got to know Davante Adams. The weapons might be a question for you, but you still have Aaron Rodgers. You still have Aaron Rodgers. You still got a really good defense.
Well, I mean, you have to regress at some point because you lost the best receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But now I will say I think your defense is better. The NFC is not particularly good. And you still have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, worst case scenario, literally the worst of the worst, short of injury, which we'll never project, happens to Green Bay, you're still the third best team in the NFC. You're still better than any team in the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
You're close to better than any team in the NFC South. And then there's the NFC West. That, yeah, I like the Rams. The 49ers are very volatile. So, I mean, that all has to be taken into account.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Green Bay, even though they don't have the guy, they don't have the number one guy with no Davante Adams, I still look at the targets and go, I like Christian Watson. That's a different element. He's not that guy. He's not a number one receiver. I would still like to see them add an Odell Beckham Jr. or a Will Fuller, whatever the case may be.
And I think
they will.
Yeah.
It's just a question of who it is. There will be a step back because of Davante Adams, but there will also be, I think, a progression on defense. I think that defense is going to be really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Green Bay Packers at number 8. Number 7, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here.
I don't love your team as much as everybody else does.
And I understand. I mean, you lost a couple of pieces, but for the most part,
you lost
it's
pieces
the same team.
Yeah, and you lost pieces that are going to hurt too. Look, I do think I think the Saints are going to win your division.
Mm-hmm.
I like their schedule drastically more than I like yours, and I don't think you're that much better than them. And I keep coming back to, there's a reason quarterbacks don't play until they're 47 years old, and eventually that's going to get you. Again, not projecting injuries. Maybe his AARP card doesn't come in. I don't know what happens to Tom.
Right.
But that makes me nervous.
You should be nervous. And I think every Tampa Bay fan is nervous because at some point it's going to happen. I mean, how many years did we bury Tom Brady because, remember last year, it looked like his arm was falling off at the end of the year, and then he came out the next year and won a Super Bowl. And then the next year, he came out at the end of the year, arm fell off. And next year, we won a Super Bowl. And then last year, it doesn't look – since he got to Tampa Bay, it's like he's a brand-new quarterback because I don't see any signs of that slowing down. And that's the thing. At some point, the drop-off has to come. I don't believe as much in our coach anymore. We got Todd Bowles.
You shouldn't. And I'll be honest with you, that played in for me.
Yeah.
I got to see several years of a Todd Bowles coach team. And you know what it led to? A lot of bruises on my forehead from me banging my head against the wall.
Right.
Because that's what I felt like he was doing.
Right. I'm upset that we lost Jordan Whitehead, sure. But they've also...
And there's a lot of little... It's just
Ollie
little
Marpet
pieces like
and,
that.
Guys like that. But we've also filled those holes pretty well.
And it's just little pieces like that where I look at this and go, you're not a very deep team, first of all. Any team that's this expensive, you're not going to be overly deep.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of those teams that could be Baltimore of last year. And trust me, I've looked at that schedule. You talk about how daunting it is. Yours starts the way that New Orleans finishes. New Orleans at times, when I've done schedule breakdowns, they start like 9-3.
Yep.
You don't have that luxury. And I could see Tampa Bay getting beat up, and if that happens, there would be a regression. Plus, I don't buy Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Never have, probably never will.
Yeah, no.
I mean, am I glad he got a second act? Yeah, because that Jets team he had was bad. So I'm glad you got another chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure how I feel about it.
And there's also the start of the season. How long are you going to be without Chris Godwin? That's going to play into how good you feel about this team as well. So there are question marks. And, look, I had him at 6, so I wasn't too far off on you. It's not like I had them number 1 in the league because they're my team. Number 2 in the NFC. Number 6 is the Kansas City Chiefs. You lose Tyreek Hill.
And I think that changes that offense to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Sky Moore is going to be a fine replacement. He's not going to be that kind of threat right off the jump. He's not. And to expect him to be is kind of comical to me, to be really honest with you. People think that this is just going to be some seamless transition. No, there's a reason that he lasted for a round and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the kid. And I thought he could have gone in the back end of the first round. I think that takes something away from your offense. I still don't think you can run the ball to save your life. The defense is good, but the one thing that people seem to just absolutely be forgetting about is Tyrann Mathieu. He was the heart and soul of that defense, and you replaced him with Justin Reed. Ugh.
You look at this team and you don't feel as great about it, but you still have Andy Reid. You still have Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I mean, and people make it, and I know this is coming, it's like you're sliding Kansas City. They're still six.
Right.
And they're still sad. I didn't put them at 16, but there was a little regression.
Yeah. But does Juju Smith-Schuster make up for what they lost in Tyreek Hill?
No.
But
can the sum of all parts be close?
Maybe.
Yes, but I still think that takes something away from the offense.
At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals.
And this is not a slight at Cincinnati. I think I would say every team in the top 6, those are my Super Bowl contenders.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Not even the top 7?
Oh, and what are you trying to give?
I know. I'm just trying to give you one NFC team. That's the only one you could see winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean,
hey, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. What's that old saying of steel sharpens steel or something like iron sharpens iron?
Iron sharpens iron, yeah.
Yeah. Whoever comes out of the AFC, there's going to be a lot of iron there.
I'd agree.
And you could make the argument that means they're going to be beat up, and that would give an NFC team an advantage.
All right.
I don't necessarily see it that way. Now, now here's where the top 5 are really close to me. I'm not slighting Cincinnati. The schedule's not pretty. It's not an easy schedule by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
You're very talented. But at the end of the day, you look at the 4 teams in front of them. I like Brandon Staley because he's very much my kind of coach of 4th and 2.
No
Away
biscuit,
we go.
no biscuit, yeah.
And I like that. I also like the fact that you have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. That helps. Where it gets a little difficult for me is that I don't love Zach Taylor, and I never have. You're here because of Joe Burrow and because of how talented this team is, and everything came together, and I like this team a lot. You're splitting hairs at this point. And if you look at the teams in front of them, I've got a lot of John Harbaugh, Sean McVay, Sean McDermott. I just like the coach a little better. That's the only difference. Could Cincinnati have been 1? Absolutely.
Cincinnati's my 2 in the power rankings just because I think they did everything that I wanted them to do.
And now I've seen
a
lot
checklist of these are the things you got to do in the offseason, and you checked every one of them with gusto, by the way.
And I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've seen a lot of places that have a huge regression with the Bengals, and I don't get it. I don't in any way see that happening.
I don't think last year was luck.
I don't either.
I think there is a championship vein that runs through Joe Burrow, and it is spreading to the rest of this team.
And I would agree with that, but I also think you got some breaks. Like I said, the early season schedule was a little bit nicer to you, and I'm not saying you're not going to get that this year. You could catch that momentum again. I just like the roster of the 4 in front of you better.
Number 4, the Los Angeles Chargers. Talked a little bit about the additions that they made with Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson on the back end.
You added one of the best corners in the league and one of the best pass rushers in the league. But he wasn't good with the Bears last year. He was the only player on that defense.
Why do you think Robert Quinn broke the sack record? Because Khalil Mack was on the other side.
Because people were terrified of Khalil Mack.
Right.
So now you look at the defense. I have a high-level impact player at every level of this defense. And the offense is real, real good.
They are.
So for me, is it a little projection? It is. Brandon Staley's going to have to take a step forward. Justin Herbert's going to have to take a step forward. He's going to have to not have games like he had against New England in L.A. last year. And I think he can do that.
I want to see what Brandon Staley can put together for year 2. He says he learned a lot. And, of course, every head coach is going to learn a lot after 1 year calling the plays. And, maybe he can tone back some of that no risk it, no biscuit, let's push it on 4th down thing. The Los Angeles Rams at number 3. You're still loaded.
Yeah. I mean, you're reigning Super Bowl champions. You are thin, though. And you lost a lot. Von Miller, that's a big deal. That's gonna Burrow. It made that pass rush so prodigious. Look, Aaron Donald's gonna be fantastic anyway. You can't lose that much and me just go, that's fine. There's Sean McVay. Hey, fine. You're the best team in the NFC. To me, it's not even debatable. But I can't put you over the 2 in front of you. And I'm sure somebody is going to the smart alecky responses to number 2. Can't wait.
Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens.
Look at what this team gets back. Then realize they had the best draft in the league. Oh, and by the way, added the best safety in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're going to be just fine. But Hollywood Brown, I don't care in the least about Hollywood Brown. Because guess what? With a quarterback like that, Devin DuVernay and Hollywood Brown can do very similar things.
Yes,
you know why? Because they're guys that can beat you over the top. So that safety whose eyes get lazy because they're dealing with that halfback that plays quarterback, let's see how that works out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got Tyler Linderbaum and Riley Stanley back. The line's really good. There's an impact in Tyler Linderbaum that people they don't look at that. Tyler Linderbaum is the stickiest offensive lineman I've ever graded. He can maintain a block longer than anybody I've ever seen. That's why I loved him to Baltimore so much. You look at all these things together, that team's going to be really, 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 really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I get John Harbaugh.
Yep. And J.K. Dobbins.
That's another thing.
I'm really
that people,
excited about
and look,
the J.K. Dobbins finally having the, he doesn't have as much competition as he did his rookie season. And then he got hurt last year, and we didn't get to see it.
And I want to address, Brian Poe in our comments said, who will Lamar throw to? You do realize that he's still got one of the best tight ends in the league and has Rashad Bateman and will be the best running team in the NFL. I'm going to say something, and I feel like now that my entire power rankings is on, this should kind of tell you this. There are about 5 receivers in the NFL that move me. DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, that's all the guys you would assume. Stephon Diggs. Outside of that, the difference between 8 and 48 is not that drastic.
When we did our preseason predictions after the schedule came out, I had the Baltimore Ravens beating the LA Rams to win the Super Bowl this year. Jeremy, his Super Bowl champion, is at number 1 on the power rankings. Go ahead.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. You had the Bills beating who in the Super Bowl?
Rams.
In the Rams. Okay, so it was the Rams. So we both got the Rams coming out of the NFC.
Yeah, it was my prediction last year, and guess what? It's going to be my prediction again this year.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills at number 1. What did they do in the offseason to get better than
Von
they
Miller
were last year?
Von Miller. They have a rotation of D linemen. You get Tre'Davious White back. I like the offense. I think Gabriel Davis, I said this, I probably no less than 30 times last year. Gabriel Davis is better than Emmanuel Sanders last year. How much better do you think I think they are now? After you see the 3 touchdown performance in the biggest game of his life.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a hole. And I think James Cook is going to matter more than people think. That is the legitimate 3-down running back that they've needed forever.
There it is, your 1 through 32 power rankings for the 2022 NFL season.
And I'm sure we'll look back on this in February and go, "Hey, remember blank? That was dumb."
Exactly.
But it was a fun little way to spend a Friday.
It was a fun day here, and we got to take a quick break. When we come back, are you mad? I mean, it's Friday. Are you mad?
No. I'm super
when we come
happy.
back, actually, Jeremy's going to be happy.
Because I have a Mexican pizza.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound stop and go between I-40 and Amboy Road. An accident here does have right lanes closed. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go between the French Broad River and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road northbound is stop and go between Glen Bridge Road and Arden Overlook Road due to an accident. Mills Gap Road delays between Concord Road and Sweeten Creek Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound stop and go between Ledbetter Road and Long Shoals Road. And again, Brevard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Liberty. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
By now, you know how regenerative medicine is amazingly effective at treating joint pain. QC Kinetics has helped thousands of people get their life back pain-free. They're now using the same regenerative protocols to restore thinning hair for men and women, with astonishing results. It's hair restoration without surgery. Natural biologic treatments that can restore aging hair follicles, giving you thicker, fuller hair. Regenerative medicine is such a breakthrough, it uses your own body's powerful growth and healing agents, highly concentrated and applied directly to the affected area. No drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. So if you're losing your hair due to aging, pattern baldness, or a medical condition, call now to learn more about exciting natural biologic treatments that can stimulate those dormant hair follicles. Get it growing naturally again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greeneville. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
Let's kickstart summer together at Lowe's this Memorial Day. Keep your home nice and cool with our exclusive Harbor Breeze Hathaway 52-inch ceiling fan special value. Was $134.98, now $99.98. And get our Pit Boss Pro Series 850 pellet grill special value. Was $549, now $499. Take advantage of our summer savings this Memorial Day exclusively at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Valid 5/19 through 5/25.
Staples has your workplace covered with furniture and organizational items curated by Staples Work From Home Style Squad. Now get 25% off storage and filing products, chair mats, decor, and lighting with the purchase of a desk or office chair. In-store only. Offer ends 5/28. Staples, the working and learning store.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
River Ridge Marketplace in East Asheville has been a staple of Buncombe County for generations, and now they're inviting you to their Spring Fling, May 28th from 11 to 4. There'll be food from their great restaurants such as Happy Cinco de Mayo, J&S Cafeteria, and many more. They'll also have sidewalk sales from their amazing vendors, snow cones, inflatables, and a petting zoo for the kids. So join me May 28th from 11 to 4 at River Ridge Marketplace.
Now is the time to get in the driver's seat of your career. Ingles Markets is looking for new regional drivers to join our Land to Sky distributors fleet. Start with 2 weeks paid time off and paid holidays. Our drivers average over $80,000 per year and they're home every week. Land to Sky offers excellent pay and a great benefits package. 6 months of CDLA driving experience is required to apply. Visit ingles-markets.com/careers to know more. That's ingles-markets.com/careers.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Jeremy's just so happy today because he's got his Taco Bell Mexican pizza finally back on the menu.
It's everything that I remember it being, and so much more. Little Diablo sauce on top. It's tremendous. And a question that will be going out on our social media pages after the show: if you could bring back any menu item ever from a fast food restaurant, what would it be?
Arch Deluxe.
I knew your answer. You've been spouting off about the Arch Deluxe, the greatest travesty in the history of fast food.
Nope.
It cost McDonald's $250 million.
I don't care. I ate it every time I went there.
Apparently you didn't eat it enough because it cost them $250 million.
You know what? My 300-pound frame at one point in my life would say that you were wrong. I didn't get that way by, not eating Arch Deluxes every day in 1996.
For me,
and it made me feel like an adult because it was the adult burger.
Here's the thing. For me, I just need I need the Mexican pizza to never go away. That needs to be on the menu forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I need the McRib to be at McDonald's all the time. And we're done. I just fixed fast food.
But then it wouldn't be so special. Then it wouldn't be a special occasion. Like, you get so excited. You count down the days to the return of the McRib. If it was on the menu all the time,
I'd eat it all the time. I'd eat it all the time.
I'm going to say that's BS.
It's not. I love the McRib.
And you would get it every time.
Oh, yeah. I am the easiest person. If you stop at any restaurant, I'm the easiest person to pick food for. Because if you've ever been to that restaurant with me before, you know exactly what I'm going to get.
Okay. All right. So maybe I'm wrong on that one. You do love your double cheeseburgers.
I do. Oh, I love burgers. I love food. I just love it all.
And we love you for hanging out with us here in the Sportsocracy each and every weekday afternoon at 3 o'clock here on ESPN Asheville and, of course, on YouTube. Not hooked up with the YouTube channel? Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with you on Monday. Enjoy the PGA Championship, the rest of the playoffs in hockey, and the NBA as well.
All kinds of new things next week.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a change up to the weather patterns here into the weekend, and next week we'll see a lot more thunderstorms cruising through the Carolina forecasts, and it all gets underway this weekend. Mid-60s tonight, scattered thunderstorms Saturday, 83, and rich flow up from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into the Carolinas for Sunday and for much of next week with a daily dose of thunderstorms likely. High temps in the 70s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Northern Tool and Equipment. Northern Tool and Equipment's anniversary sale is on. Save hundreds on pressure washers, sprayers, trailers, lawn and garden equipment, power tools, and more. Shop in-store or northerntool.com.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Drive slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound stop and go between I-40 and Amboy Road. An accident here does have right lanes closed. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go between the French Broad River and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road northbound is stop and go between Glen Bridge Road and Ardent Overlook Road due to an accident. Mills Gap Road delays between Concord Road and Sweeten Creek Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound stop and go between Ledbetter Road and Long Shoals Road. And again, Brevard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
Tyson Furniture has a fantastic selection of quality furniture, honest values, and great service. We deliver weekly to Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.